And approaching Student Gap, the Marshall location, I'm taking my aircraft up to about 13,000 feet just to deconflict with another flight of A-10s that we have out here to our left. And what I'm going to do is come around here to the left. I'll select steer point 6. This is the steer point we're going to push from. And I'm just going to fly on this heading a little longer. I've got an altitude hold. I'll go ahead and engage the autopilot. So yeah, we had this A-10 flight down here, co-altitude. And the AWACS calls I've been getting so far, that's about the third or fourth one that I've had, indicates probably a couple of groups out there way back of the FIBA as expected and as briefed. So I've got other air contacts on the data link out there, some more F-16s coming in here at 13,000 feet, followed up by more F-16s and some F-15s. So yeah, we still got a little ways to go. So I'm going to settle in here and just look at more systems and come back if there's anything to go over. I'll be back. Okay, about, let me see, what are we at? About 3 minutes, 2 minutes to the push, 4-4. Our fighter sweep is passing Mount Irish, and I'll still get some calls coming in, even though I'm not on the 124 frequency. What I'll assume this is just a general call, maybe on the AWACS channel, or maybe just on my flight channel. So I'm still going to have the benefit of a broad overview of what's going on. I won't be able to hear specifically what they're doing as far as what they're engaging and where this time. But yeah, I think it'll balance out. Just being able to interact with JTAC without a communications delay with all those radio calls coming in and backing up is going to make a huge difference here. So we're coming up on steer point 6. My time on target on steer point 6 is actually, well, I've let myself get a little bit behind here, haven't I? Yeah, I was holding out here in the vicinity of 5. My plan was to, once I saw my time on target, get to 1444 to go directly at steer point 6, but I let that go by a little bit. I think I just made one too many 360s. So I'm going to roll out right there, and this is still going to put us in a very good position as far as timing. I don't want to get too far out in front of the other flight elements. I've got a 4-ship off my nose that'll probably be, those would be those A-10s, and those appear to be the only aircraft that are in front of me at this point, other than Ford 4. That combat air patrol or that fighter sweep that is in front of us. They've already passed Mount Irish. Yep, there we go, Ford 4 south of the farms. So we're at our push time. I'm going to go ahead and tell the flight on UHF to go to a trail formation. So that's F5, go trail. There's Uzi 1 passing Mount Irish, tornadoes that are going to be providing seed a little bit further beyond the FIBA and making sure that that Pontiac flight of B1s is able to get to their target way out here in the vicinity of the bullseye. So yeah, we're all set. I just need to press on in, get into the vicinity of steer point 8 and check in with the JTAC. So passing steer point 6. Let's go to steer point 7. It's going to be a slight right-hand turn just to set up spacing and get us back into our planned point. There's Dodge 2 F-15Es passing Mount Irish. So what I'm going to do is put my autopilot into path hold, come around on the steer point, and just continue in a descent here. Actually, I'll make the descent a little bit more aggressive just so that we can get down in here and get into this terrain. So I'll just set up to cross this ridge and then go relatively low level, below 1,000 feet, nothing too crazy, until we get up here and then make a left-hand turn up into the FIBA and up into the ridge that we see out there beyond the Rachel Farms area. And what I can also do just to get ahead, I can go ahead and go Master Arm and Gun Pack a Laser Arm. I can go to my Maverick page. I can go EO Power On to get these warming up. There's a way, in fact, to make these automatically start their alignment and their warm-up once you pass a certain point. I might do that. I keep forgetting to do it, but I'll set that up in one of these missions and show how to make it just automatically warm up for you once it reaches a certain point. And I'll bring my targeting pod up, make it my sensor of interest, and yeah, there's nothing that I can really do at this point other than manage the flight and manage my timing as I come in here. So Colt 2 is that F-16 flight that we saw on the taxi out with AGM-65s out there to hit some targets. And I see in the distance out there 2 aircraft down low. Those would be, if it's a 2 ship, that's either Uzi or Dodge. Probably Dodge hitting in there at low level, so I'm going to be right behind some F-15Es, which isn't a bad place to be. And all these aircraft can defend themselves if they get jumped by bandits. I have a limited defense capability, but not a whole lot. So I'm relying on these guys to clear the way for me, both from an air defense SAM perspective and from the air perspective. There's Pontiac 1 and 2. Those are my B1s. They're passing Mount Irish, so I have B1s in the air somewhere close to me. Not sure exactly what altitude they were going to be at, but they are in the air. Yeah, there's Dodge, those F-15s. Okay, those were the ones that we just saw out there in front of us. And let's see here. Okay, there we go, B1s. Directly behind me at about 12,000 feet. Nice. Okay, so coming down into the terrain, let me go ahead and set my altitude alert up for something more like 200 feet. And that will only give me the alert if I'm really down lower than I intend to get. My radar altitude right now is about 450. So anywhere from 200 to 500 is probably what I'll play for. Anything lower than that, and you're just focusing so much on not flying into the terrain that you can't really focus on anything else, like radio calls or where you're at in the world or what the ground picture is. 257 for 80, so 257 is going to be just off to our left. And flanking means that they're neither going towards us nor away, so just sort of from my right to left or right to left or left to right. And then hot, 258 for 70, that means that those aircraft at 11,000 feet are coming towards me. So that is that. So I'm approaching steer point 7. There's Uzi 2 fencing in. Let me go ahead and step up to steer point 8. Let me go ahead and contact this JTAC on... no, I'll wait until I push in a little bit closer here. So I'm looking into the area right now that we're going to be working, right up here. It's still way too far out to pick up anything visually. Okay, and those contacts are still close. They're not too far beyond the FIBA, but they're still, yeah, too far away for me to worry about. And out there at low level, I can still see those Dodges. I can see another aircraft up at high level. Just a little bit of glare or a glint off of something. And Dodge 1, another F-15E flight, is passing Mount Irish. Okay, 23, RWR contact, that would be a MiG-23, and that would match what we were expecting from the briefing. So that would be on that bearing about 250 or so, those aircraft that were being called out from the AWACS. Okay, and that MiG's got a missile lock. That is not on me. That has to be too far away for that to really concern me as I pass steer point 7. I'm going to make a slight left-hand turn to bring us up here towards steer point 8. And I'm just going to level up right here. I'm going to go into the altitude hold, autopilot mode, and just let it hold me in here so I can sort of go heads down and hands away from the controls momentarily. Okay, F-15s and MiG-23s up there. And the closest bandit that I've heard called from AWACS has been about 40 miles, so yeah, that's still far away. And I only really worry when the contacts are down here around the inner ring, kind of like these F-15s are. I know that they're in close, and then I'm getting high signal strength, and therefore the closer contact on RWR So I only really worry about them when they're in close. Well, I worry about them all the time, but I really only react to them when they're in close. Okay, so everybody fencing in right there. Pontiac, there's V1s. I have Dodge 2 passing east of the FIBA, and Colt 1 and 2 fencing in. So let me complete my fencing. In fact, let me go to manual. Let me go lights off. And let me see. Okay, that's it for that. Now, communications are already set up the way that I want them. So let me go ahead and contact this JTAC, VHF FM, JTAC, check in for 30. And while I call in, I've got the JTAC location right there marked by an X. And steer point 8, actually steer point 9 was going to be the expected location, so I'm going to step over to there and just have my pod sort of pre-slewed over there. Okay, type 2, so we're going to get some kind of a mark on this one, so let's go VHF FM, ready to copy. Okay, 245 for 50. No threat, and I've got my pen and paper out to jot down some coordinates here from the JTAC. Okay, gotcha. So this one is coming towards me, but still too far out to worry about. And 260 for 35. And they're starting to get into the area that I'm going to worry a little bit. But they are flanking. If they were cold hot, I would be a little bit more worried. Okay, 2 has a bandit, tally 12 o'clock, and this one I can't trust. Okay, so 35, okay, F-15s, off my nose. So I think they are still a little bit too far out for me to really worry about. Okay, let me come around and just get set back up on this. 4-2's running in. Let me recall ready to copy. I might have actually been on the wrong frequency there. Okay, here we go. Okay, gotcha. So I've got those coordinates jotted down, and let me go ahead and copy those remarks. So let's go VHF FM and ready to copy. I'm going to take it off to the right and continue pushing into this steer point. I don't see, okay, 264 for 45, still too far out. I don't see anything threatening on my RWR. Okay, requesting bombs, SA-9s, 2 SA-9s in the area. Okay, I've got all that copied down. I can see those other A-10s out there in the distance dropping flare. Okay, let me give them a read back on VHF FM. Okay, and what I'm going to do is make this ridge crossing, get over here to steer point 8 where I was supposed to be, and okay, I am going to get data on this one. Okay, so I have the red. Okay, there we go. That red triangle is like right there, so I'm going to hook that, make that my speed. I'm going to drop a mark point, mark alpha, and get in there on that location. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go ahead and go. Was there anything else that I owed that JTAC? I just need to report IP inbound momentarily. Coming over the top here, I've got an aircraft contact out there over my nose, as expected. I'll acknowledge that message. I'll go Wilco and press on in here. Okay, so this area that we're looking at is going to be on the other side of this ridge. Got some ground fire. I think an A-10 just got hit. Okay, so let me just continue out here, and once I unmask from this ridge, I'll be able to look in there with my pod. Okay, and I've got the green X right there. That's the friendly JTAC location, so I've got to manage this and make sure that I'm not going to put bombs onto the wrong location here. Okay, so vehicle smoking out here on this side of the ridge. That's all I see for ground contacts. Actually, let me clear myself out. On this heading, I've got nothing in the air, nothing on the ground that I can see. Okay, let me come back up. Okay, we're on our reefed IP. Let me just, for the heck, let me call IP inbound. Okay, now looking, this is the coordinate set that was passed on from the JTAC. Okay, Mark is on the deck. I've got in the pod some smoke. Oh, there we go. I've got the Willie Pete right there. Okay, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to clear this area. Let me do this. Let me go ahead and go. Well, I've got that confounded JTAC, so I've got to just hit these targets out here. Okay, I've got a Zeus 23 right here. Okay, Pontiac bombs away. Okay, and I've got my friendly up there. It's kind of a weird situation. That's an SA-9. Okay, let me break right. Let me just sort of set up right here. Okay, let me break right, clear myself out here to the right. And let me do this. Let me have my second element go in there and take out air defenses. So, okay, I will call contact the mark on VHF FM. Engage air defenses with missile from the north.
Engage air defenses at my speed with Maverick from the north.
So that'll be that SA-9, and I saw Zeus in there as well. I saw an airborne contact out there beyond them. Okay, so there go 3 and 4. What I'm going to do is set up with my missiles, come in around here and try to engage some of those primary targets. I've just got to remember the location of that JTAC. Okay, that's a 25 and a missile launch. Let me break right and dispense. I think that's still just like an F-15 type battle. Actually, there's an F-15 right above me. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything else out here. What are you? F-15. Okay, so I'm good. Look like Strike Eagles. Okay, let me come back around to the right. And these, well, they're not getting shot down. Maybe I was mistaken there. Okay, I thought I saw MiG-25, but that must have been just a 15. Okay, I'll calm down now. There go 3 and 4. Running in. I think they're dropping flare in response to that SA-9. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my Mavericks up. I'm not even going to use the pod on this one, but I do need to select my Maverick profile. So there we go. The AGM-65 is selected, and they're caged up. So I'm just going to come in here. Okay, tally on the mark. JTAC is going to be right there where my box is. So what I want to do is just come down here and start to flank some of these tanks. Okay, so right about there. Let me go narrow. Okay, that's a good target. I'll take it. No track. Let me track that one. Okay, let me slew up. Okay, correct down. Let me go narrow. Okay, tank. No track. Oh, come on. Okay, and that's all that I'm going to get off on this pass. Let me go off left. Let me drop some chaff and flare, as that was just that Zeus 23 lighting me up. We're 3 and 4. I thought they were already in. We're just going to extend back to the north away from these guys. Okay, let me just be patient here and let 3 and 4 go in. I thought they had already done their thing and had gone in and taken out some air defenses. Okay, there we go. So I just need to be a little bit more patient here. Okay, there we go. Missile away from 3. I'm going to turn hot. And this time, I'm also going to give 2 the command to go in there and start taking stuff out. So let's go F2, engage, 2, engage. I'll just say engage ground targets with missile from the north. Okay, there's some ground fire going against one of these guys, probably one of my guys. Okay, Viz, tally on the smoke. Okay, that's a hit. Okay, let me come on around. Let me cage this missile back up. Okay, so continue my target search here. Let me stabilize it right in there. Let me go narrow. Okay, track on this guy, that's armor. Okay, let me go narrow. That's nothing. We come right. I'm still clear of that JTAC. He's up there to the right further. If I can get a track on one of these guys, that's what I'm trying to do. Okay, too close. Break. Check and flare out. Okay, and I think the reason 2 couldn't engage right then is that my targeting pod had sort of come off that target, and I still had my targeting pod set up as the sensor point of interest.